a seized engine with salt water getting into the rear pot or rear piston sleeve, and look, it's just a headache. This is Nephelle, our sailing yacht, 43 feet long. It sails at approximately 7 knots average. It also motors at about 7 knots average. Beautiful sailing boat, 20 tons, built to sail the world, and we were looking forward to going to Fiji, Vanuatu and Newcastle. This is the engine shots, which lead into the components that need to be removed from the engine in order to strip it down and find out exactly what the situation was. There's the exhaust elbow, trying to determine whether or not they had a leak. I took measurements of the rockers. Those are the rocker rods there, and that's the head being stripped down. It's quite a slow process, but you can see gradually I broke the engine down. That's the exhaust manifold. That's looking inside the exhaust manifold, and I thought that there was a pinhole in the side of the manifold that caused the problem. You can see I thought it was blowing across to that wall. In hindsight, what that was something else. This is the manifold. The engine was only rebuilt 6 years ago. Prior to this, a full recondition, and so my wife and I expected we wouldn't touch this engine for quite a long time. That's the other side of the exhaust. Okay, we've got the head here. You can see the rear head, the rear cylinder head, where the valves are, the rust that's there. The rust was from the seawater that was flowing back into that rear pot or rear cylinder. The cause of that was from actually the exhaust elbow, which I found out later. The exhaust elbow, which was nice and shiny and very similar to the rest of the engine, was definitely something I thought might have been an issue, but I thought it was an issue because it had a pinhole in it. But as it turned out, the issue was the actual exhaust elbow was designed incorrectly. A video of that will be a little bit later. This is the rear port that is soaking. It's been soaked. I soaked it in total 3.5 weeks before being able to get the cylinder moving. And you'll see a block of wood, which I used to drive it down. So not really the best way to do things, but it wasn't going to move at all. So what we have here, we have the blocks of wood across the top of the head with the head bolts in it, and the idea of that was to hold the sleeves in place when we tried to rock the crank on the front with a large socket and a bar. And it turned out that this method didn't budge it at all. As much as I tried, in the end I put a crowbar into the flywheel where the starter motor was removed and did a little bit there, but again that didn't really do anything at all. And soaking it for 3 weeks certainly helped, but the best thing that helped most of all was actually the block of wood, which you're about to see. Okay, for those of you who want to know how I drove the piston down, I got 2 bits of 4x2 wood, shaped the end of it, you can see here, shaped the end, kind of rounded the sides, and then you can see the actual imprint of the piston on top, and I use that to effectively drive the piston down. You can see from the marks on the top of the actual block of wood how much I pounded it. I also pounded that much, it hit my hand and did that as well. So you've got to be very careful about making sure you actually hit the block of wood, not your bloody hand. It's yeah, it was interesting. I got it down, so managed to move it down half. It was halfway stuck at the start, frozen or seized, and I managed to drive it down. Soaked it again, and then managed to get it up halfway, and then back down again over a space of the last couple of days, and then now it's free. We've got the piston out. There'll be a wee video of that, of getting the piston out, and then now all the parts are at Headmaster, and the exhaust elbow, I'm just waiting to hear back from the gentleman what's involved in getting that fixed or changing it, because I'm pretty sure that's what caused the problem in the first place. But yeah, I'll come back to you with more updates. So it's Mark from Nephelle, and yeah, we'll talk again soon. Okay, see you, bye. Here, and or the heat exchanger, sorry, heat exchanger, cleaning away, and all of a sudden the bloody thing slipped out of my hands and went straight to the bottom. So I figure the best thing I can do is get the diver in. I've marked where it went down. The exhaust elbow that was made out of stainless steel was made incorrectly, and it was allowing backflow on start up and shut down. So that was quick. That was quick.
That'll be $100, thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You probably don't even need to clean.
Yeah. So, hold it here. You want it? You just level there. That's basically it there, and a bit more. That's level. Yeah. And you can see that water just. And if you put a bit more, can you open it up a bit more?
Yeah. Come on,
So just hold it. That's about there. That's it there. That's level. That's what's happening. The water is slowly just running in from that going. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's enough. That's excellent draft. That's exactly what we need. Right, this is the Ford Lehman 80 piston from the engine. Update on where we are now. Just looking at the top 3 rings are frozen in, so I'm taking those into the engine reconditioner today to get them to free that up, and then just to see if they can think the actual piston's okay. So that's the update on Nephelle for today. I'll come back to you soon. Alright, sprayed part 3 of the product into the bore. This is meant to be the final stage of the 3-part series, and this should highlight if there actually is a crack, and after 10 minutes I'll wipe that off, and then we should be able to identify whether or not there is. Yeah, interesting process. Fingers crossed, however, don't like my chances. Alright, update soon. Okay, this is the back of the engine with the gearbox and bell housing there. We're just going to take this oil hoses off now. Should have done it earlier on actually. I was trying to get away with it. You can see I've taken all the engine mounts off, and now I'm just about to take the oil out of the gearbox, and then I'll remove the gearbox from the actual engine and then the bell housing. So once that's done, basically I slide the engine over to the door over there once it's off, sorry, over to the doorway, and then I'll start making the wooden stairs, finishing it off for the out tomorrow. So it's all go. have to lift the front up a bit.
You push down at the back of the engine.
Yeah, I am pushing.
Mark.
Yeah.
You got a big steel bar somewhere? Like a... There we go. Oh, that is it.
That's not good.
No, you've got to see that there. It's going to bite into the timber.
Well, we can turn it around.
You know, just go up a tad. No, right, go down. Go down, right, go all the way down. That's it.
Hold on, I'll connect this chain onto it.
No, just go down because we're going to have to turn it. Where's Carl? Is Carl
I'm here, yeah. I was...
Right. Kelsey, push it back here on the bar, Push down the bar.
Oh, you're going to have to push down again at the back.
We are pushing.
What?
Yeah, can you go up a bit?
Yeah. That's what will catch you on. That's what will catch you
I think you're right.
on. Now go up. Take the bar out.
No, well, stop.
Go.
Fuck. None of that made me fucking really relaxed. And my legs got this horrible slip in it.
You right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know if we caught much of that, but I left your phone down there. it's possibly on. Probably should catch some swearing. Fuck, that's the son of a bitch.
Oh, shit.
That's good, mate. No, it's out.
Well done, Mark.
Nice work, man.
Hey.
Thanks, man. It's probably all we need.